And with that, good evening, Bobcat Nation. Welcome to another edition of the Bobcat Blitz Sports Update. I'm Sean Kirkpatrick, coming to you live tonight here from Newport High School, right in front of the Preserve. Got a very special, personal episode tonight, and you get that age group, and you're used to change. Every couple of years, there's change, and sometimes there's good change, and sometimes you just don't want it to end. And this is one of those cases where it's both. I'm gonna have a good change, and one of those where I don't want to see it come to an end, but it's a great thing for everybody involved. Guys, I want to thank y'all for joining us tonight. I really wanted to come back here to take a look at the baseball field, but they're got some serious meetings going on right now. I don't want to interrupt their team building exercise and all that, but that's because Saturday, oh my goodness, guys, Saturday, wow, 100-inning fundraiser. Great job by the Cats Baseball Club, the moms and the dads, everybody involved in that. They had area JV varsity took on first. Then they moved into the city police versus firemen. Then they moved on to, they had an Army team and a Marine team going at it. Then they mixed and matched. Then they had a great color guard coming down from Charlotte. A Marine guard came through. We had Ashley to the national anthem. And it just kept going throughout the day, and we announced all day long tonight. It was fantastic. So what a great event. I know they liked the results, and they're going to do it again next year is what I'm hearing. Going to make it even bigger, so excited for that. A lot going on. If you look at the schedule, we got girls weightlifting. We got some state qualifiers. So, ladies, if you're listening to me, I have been trying to reach your coaches to get you on the show because state, anybody who qualifies for state, we really want to highlight them, not just state, but regionals. So if you can help me out on that, parents, if you're part of the weightlifting group there, try to help me out on that. I really want to accent how great that is, how hard it is to get to the state level. We've got girls and boys basketball. Again, you might have seen the girls basketball games got canceled on Friday, but they had great senior night on Monday, took on a good Sarasota team and beat them. Last week, of course, the guys came back and won. So good 7 days for both girls and boys basketball. We were waiting to hear on their playoff seeding. Guys, you have one more home game tomorrow night. I'll be there for that one. It's our final home game. It's a 6:30, not a 7:30. It's a 6:30 tip-off, taking on LaBelle. All right. So having said all that, I'm sure I missed a lot. Wrestling is going on still. But we like to do a tradition here where when the season's over, we want to bring on the coaches and staff who just had their wrap up. And I know girls soccer just finished. So I know I have Coach Duque and Malia Hambrick on. Can you hear me, both of you?
Yes, sir.
Malia, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So Malia, before we get to all the other stuff, again, I tell the story every year because we get more and more viewers. And it's really emotional to me. I saw you, and not in a creepy way, but you were an 8th grader. And I know you're an 8th grader because I saw you here as a freshman. And we live probably in the same area or not, but I live out near Janine and Haberland and all that. And you were an 8th grader at the time. I didn't know that. You ran past me on my little old man jog. I do old man jogging. And then I think your family was running past me. I don't know. And you're a little teeny squirt. You're just zipping past me. That was 8th grade. You come in 9th grade. I knew it was you because I was the lead cart for cross country. And there you are. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know who that kid is. And over the years, you just got better and better and better. So with having said that, what amazing accomplishment are you going to be doing for yourself in August, September of this year coming up? What happened to you? What's the great news?
I decided to commit to USF for track and cross country.
Wow, that's amazing. And when did you make that decision?
December, November-ish.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go, man. That's pretty. Malia, you were fast as an 8th grader. I watch you get faster every year. Now you're going to be collegiate fast. So how does that feel knowing that you're going to keep going, that you're not done with your running career?
Excited. I always knew that I was going to do a sport, whether it was soccer or running in college. And I always wanted to go to the next level and see what it's like, but not just athletically, but also academically. And sports has been a big part of my life. So with my academics, I'm going to aim to be an athletic trainer with my schooling so I can stay involved in sports even if I don't end up competing further than college.
And, that sounds like a segue to orthopedic surgeons or things like that, maybe, or elite team trainer. I don't know what that is. But Malia, that's amazing. You now, I believe, if Evan's still running, that puts us, we have 2 NCAA level runners. How's that feel? That's pretty cool company there.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel real.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is you're at USF, so you're only about an hour, hour and a half away. So maybe we can try. Do you guys host? I know FGCU didn't had a little issue with hosting. Do you guys host your own cross country meets?
I don't think so. I think we host track meets though.
Okay, yeah, yeah, definitely. They can have a track program there. What conference, if you mind me asking? I keep forgetting. USF used to be Big A, B East, and the Athletic Sun. And do you know what conference they're in right now, by any chance, with running?
AAC, I think. The
Okay,
American.
got yeah. There you go. That's pretty cool. So, and not for nothing, but the girls program here at Norwood High School, we documented Amani Jefferson, her rise at college basketball. We've had quite the amount of ladies doing great things. We have several soccer players. Of course, we know the ladies soccer players going to college and playing. So I don't have access to the history books or the records, but if I remember correctly, you are sitting at 11, 12, 13 varsity letters. Does that sound about right?
I think so. Yeah.
That has to put you in the top five. I don't know of any other female athletes or male athletes for that matter who that means you had to do freshman, sophomore. That's all 4 years. In all
Hmm.
the sports you played in, you had to be a starter to a certain level and amount of points. So for those who don't know what that means, that's an impressive number. Has coach ever talked to you about those numbers?
Not really.
No, you didn't know that. I want to know if you broke the record. I really do. Did you do weightlifting one year? I don't know. I can't keep track of what you're doing.
I don't think I competed in enough meets.
Oh, I see. You get that letter, but still, So as of now, I think you're at 11, right? So maybe you got one more coming up if track. If not, I'm not sure. So,
Mhm.
so all those things you've done. I know you don't want to pick your favorites. I know you said soccer, cross country, and of course we know you from track. But what I think would set you apart from the other female athletes, I'm not ever going to discount their efforts. But I think you broke the record for the amount of individual state appearances because you did it not just cross country, but you did it in track and field. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct.
Did you go to states? Refresh my memory. Did you go to states? How many events? How many years? Do you know offhand how many it was?
I went to states and cross country for 4 years and track for 3 years. Hopefully, this upcoming year we'll make it four.
I,
And
I think that's a record, Malia. I don't think anybody's done two sports 4 years in a row. I'm almost 100% positive that would be the limit. I can't think of anybody else. That's Malia. I can tell you right, you probably our best female athlete ever. And I just like I said, I don't know the numbers, I don't have the access, and I'm not trying to discount everybody else. But did you ever think that was going to happen as a runner?
I mean, I knew I have a lot of potential in running,
Yeah,
but I mostly just do it just to push myself. It doesn't really matter like the reward or of
I
like
know.
everyone else seeing it. It's more so competing against myself.
Right. And again, I've told you the story a million times how I'm a terrible runner. I'm old and slow. My body's meant to go hit people hard like a tackle. So my transition to running is a lot different. But I am the same way. It's all about me getting better in both my mental and physical abilities, keeping my heart in shape because I have to have I have heart issues. So, the reason I kept pushing you guys on our show so much, not only are you super nice people, not only is your sport a very supportive sport, but you don't get a lot of attention because it's not one of the big team sports like the football and the basketballs. And I don't think that's fair to the level of athleticism that you guys have. If and, again, I've played every major team sport there is. I can't keep up with any of you guys for more than 4 seconds. Let's be honest. 3 steps and you're already lightning out of my way. I can't even come close to you. So that's why I keep harping on how great an athlete you are and all the cross country teams and all the track and field teams, because I just think overall body mechanics and athleticism and mental strength as well. Because you're on your own, right? Once you get going, it's just you. How's that feel not having a coach yelling at you or guiding you once you get running? How did you get to that point in your running career that you are your own coach once you get started on those runs?
Um, well, I think a lot of it had to do with freshman sophomore year coming in. I didn't really have too many people there to push me yet. So I think I learned from then, like that experience, like learning how to run and push myself. And then last year, Lexi and Megan came and started joining cross country. So like now I've been able to run like with my teammates, and it's overall been a good experience.
So you've had as the senior runner in both cross country and track. I won't mention soccer right now. We'll go to soccer in just a second. What what would you say to a young person watching, say middle school? I'm not going to say come to Norfolk, but whatever school they end up going to, what would you say why they should look into cross country or distance running at the track level? What benefits did you get out of it besides getting into a college?
I think no matter how good you are, cross country teaches you a lot of lessons. It teaches you a lot about discipline, showing up every day for practice, and then even though it's hard, you can push through it, and teaches you how to push through even when you have no motivation. And then on top of that, you have a great team experience because you're not the only one struggling there. So you learn a lot about working well with a team.
Malia, I announce for both team sports and individual sports, and I'm so used to team sports where everybody's yelling at each other and being not as nice. And then I go to cross country and track and field, and even other teams are helping each other out and cheering each other's on. Do you have any favorite races you might have remember, or just moments in a race itself? Maybe something you saw that was a little bit interesting, or maybe different weather conditions, or what are two or three good memories you have of your not yourself, but maybe your team overall that you had over these last 4 years with cross
Um,
country and track and field?
I definitely say one of the biggest highlights of my running career at Northport was when we qualified for states for the first time last year in 10 years for the girls team. I think it was very exciting, especially because of how unexpected it was. We didn't even like when we finished, we didn't even like have a clue that we were even in to go to states. Like we thought we had no chance. And then coach pulled us all aside and after the race and he told us we were all going through.
That's awesome. Any rituals or things you would have to do as a team afterwards, or an individual? Do you have any special individual things you do, like you can't tie your shoe a certain way, or eat a certain candy, or song you
Honestly,
can't play? Anything crazy like that?
no.
No.
um, a lot of times before the meets, we all have like pasta parties, so we all get together and eat lots of pasta and have fun and hang out right before the meet. So then we get our nerves out and then we're fueled for our race.
So 5Kers, they have to do carbo loading. I thought that was like a half marathon or more.
No, we do too in cross country.
5K carbo load, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to the next level at the college level, and I'm. Have you toured your facilities yet? Have you talked to the coaches, or is this a phone thing?
For what?
For when you go next year to USF, have you met the coaches and the facilities? Have you
Oh
gone
yeah,
out there?
yes, yeah.
Gazillion years ago, long story short, I was on a field trip with a bunch of athletes to UCF. It was a
Mhm.
different era. And I asked one of the coaches towards the end, I said, can you please address the fact that this is no longer a fun high school thing? This is a business. They are investing in you. You're getting out of it quite a bit, but they're also putting a lot into you. What kind of investment do you think you're seeing? It's like this is a business now. They want to put money into you for training, for coaching, for facilities, for transportation. You're now going to be going to probably farther distances. Did you ever think about that when you were in high school going into college? That it's not just let's go get trophies.
Yeah, I'm a very competitive person,
Yeah.
so I'm someone who always wants to get better, and I always wanted to go and compete at the highest level I can possibly push myself
Yeah.
because I'm very ambitious in a kind of way.
Now, I'm gonna tell a little secret here. I know that you did I'm gonna say your last 2 years at the community college level. Is that correct? You were
Yeah.
dual enrolling here at the same time.
Mhm.
So, will you be doing 2 years or more theoretically at the collegiate level? Have they talked to you about that?
Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I plan on getting my undergrad in exercise science and kinesiology, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping to get that done in 2 to 3 years. And then
Right.
after, I hope to go into the graduate program there for athletic training.
Will they let you run the graduate level? Is that because you haven't done 4 years NCAA eligibility? They let you do all 4 years?
Yeah, I'll still have 4 years eligibility for NCAA.
Wow. So 4 years college running.
Hmm.
What do you think you're going to be running time wise? You have any idea? Like how much do they think your body's going to advance in 4 years? I mean, I never looked at the college runners until Evan and now you. Like what you are now as a high school senior? What do you think you're going to advance each year? Like a second or two or three, that kind of thing on the 5Ks?
I definitely think my first year, I expect a lot of growth because it's definitely going to be a lot more training, a lot more running specific, and I'm not going to be playing soccer anymore. So I have more time to focus on that. And I also be around other runners who are faster than me, where I'm not just the best one.
Right.
Um, So, and everyone there is fighting for the same thing and they all want the same thing. So, I definitely think that will be a perfect place for me to be able to grow throughout the years.
So is it like high school where you have X amount of people on the team, individuals, and then the team is like the sum of 5 runners or 7 runners, or how do they score it compared to high school?
I think it's about the same.
Okay, gotcha. When do you start? When's your very first day you show up and get going? When's your start date?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh no. Do they run? They run the fall like you guys do in high school, do right? They do the
Yeah,
August, September, October. Oh, so you get the wonderful Tampa summer heat.
yeah.
Same, but yeah, you'll be ready for it. You'll be Northport weather wise and all that. So looking back, I don't know if you want to talk about soccer or not. You can include whatever sport you want. I don't track and field sport and all that, because I'm not sure if we'll see you again the rest of the year on this stuff. But uh, you know, it's an amazing thing to think that you go from an eighth grade running past me, and now you're going to be at the elite level distance runners. You did great in school. You went to community college at the same time. You probably are either have it or close to having your AA degree. What would your overall experience as a student athlete, how would it have been different had you not run? Have you ever thought about that? Like if you just did straight academics, well, what do you think would have been different in your overall course? Have you ever thought about that? Like if I didn't go running that one day and kept going?
Um, like, and if I didn't do soccer either.
Yeah, just didn't do that stuff. I'm just curious if you've ever thought about how much the athletics trained you, kept you mentally sharp, like you couldn't goof off. Like some of your friends would get to have a relaxing weekend. You're off playing soccer tournaments, or you're getting up early in the morning to run. You couldn't sleep in till noontime. I ever wonder what would happen if you didn't have athletics all these years, where you'd be? I'm just curious. I've always wondered that. I never asked an athlete that question ever.
I'd probably be very bored. I like to stay busy, so
Super fun. Well, and part of your success, not only are your sports, a lot of it's internal and individual, but you do have the coaching side to it. And my guest is going to come on after you. I'm pretty sure you know Coach Duque very well. What would you say about your coaching staff, the ones that meant the most to you? You don't have to say them by names, but how much of an impact do they have on you over these last couple of years?
I think they've had probably the biggest impact on
Mm.
me for several years. I've played with Coach Hans on his soccer team. Actually, he was like one of the first people I met when I moved to Florida,
Oh,
um, right before sixth grade. And ever since then, like my life has changed dramatically. I wouldn't have even started running if it wasn't for him
oh
because
man,
I
look at
know,
that.
yeah, for soccer, he had his training for 5Ks and I started noticing like I'm actually kind of good at this. And then in sixth grade, I decided to do track, and I haven't looked back since then.
Wow. So where'd you move down from? I didn't know that. Where'd you move from?
Kentucky.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, congratulations. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. I'm not sure. Wow. So sixth grade, you came down to this area. You've been running ever since. Oh my goodness. Hey, I got a personal question to ask you. You don't have to answer this. Every day I go to work around 7 o'clock. There is a young lady running with a ponytail. She got a shirt that says Hamburg on the back. Is that one of your friends or family members? Almost every day.
I
Down
think
I want to say it's Haverland.
yeah, I think that's my mom. She's
Oh, get out of
on
here.
there.
I told her, hey, I told her a young lady. She looks like she's half my age. So, yeah, I was wondering if that's a friend or family. Like, there's not too many hamburgers out there. So, I'm like, oh, goodness. Well, tell her I said hello. I'm like, that guy slows down and tries to say hi to her. She's like, who's that creepy guy? I'm like, no. She's pretty fast, too, by the way.
Yeah.
She got some stuff. Did she run also? Is that where you got a lot of your running talent from, do you think?
um yeah, I would say so. I think no one in my family has done running or soccer like on a team or competitively,
Okay.
but I definitely think I'd get it from her side, at least
Yeah.
the endurance aspect. But my dad is more of like a basketball, football kind of uh,
Okay. So
fan.
you were raised
So
by athletic parents, and they
yeah,
probably taught you some of that, the discipline and listening to your coaches and all that. So was there ever a time when you were like, I'm just done with this? And if there was, how'd you get past that?
um, I don't know.
Never? Never a time when you said, this isn't it. I'm done
Maybe
with it?
maybe my sophomore year was a little bit rough because I found out one of my teammates wasn't going to be able to make it for
Mm.
states for the 4x8. So that was really tough for me because my whole goal that year was to run with people at states and not be
Mm.
alone. And we had such a good team then. So I think that was hard for me. But But then the following year, which was last year, Lexi and Megan and Reagan all came to track, and then we had a really good 4x8 and placed ninth at states last year.
Yep,
So
that's fantastic. Oh my gosh. So, needless to say, you're gonna have some. If you guys do host something in Tampa, we can actually go up and try to find you, and I'll bring a cowbell if I can. If I get there that day, I'll bring some cowbells. You know what I mean? Like, hey, did you ever hear my cowbells or not when I was on the cart?
yeah,
You did? I always
yeah.
wondered that. Like, I don't because you're so focused. I couldn't tell, and I was afraid to talk to you. I didn't want to interrupt your cadence and your training.
Mhm.
Do you remember those days at all where I would be in front of you in the cart?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember one time the cart died and then you had to push it off the course.
Oh, I was furious. I was furious. I'm not ready to Hulk slam that thing. I was so mad. You know what the secret on that story was though? You're gonna laugh on this one. So I go back there with like a toolkit and all that, and my daughter was a little squirt still. Now she wasn't, she's like, Bobby, just you got the thing in the wrong way. I'm like, what do you mean? All I had to do was change one little thing. I had kicked it while we're trying to get out of someone's way. I didn't see it. I'm like, oh, so I was so mad at myself. I'm like, yeah, I forgot about that story. I was really scared it was going to mess up people's scores and all that. What's the hardest cross country track you or event you like? They're like water or woods or like a bear jumps at you. Like, what's the craziest thing you've seen in cross country?
Um,
Or is it just the
I,
cart
this
pooping out
was
on you?
well, I would say craziest part. It's not like actual cross country race, but when we went to Tennessee this past summer for cross country camp, we were running on the trails and we spotted mama bear and her
Oh, I
cubs.
was just kidding about a bear jumping out. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. Any snakes? Any ever seen any venomous snakes in the way?
yeah. Sometimes like the black
Well,
snake. Yeah.
awesome, deal. That's awesome. Well, Malia, I am so proud of you. I only barely even see you, and I know the coaching staff is extremely proud of you and all your family and friends. Is there any parting thing you want to say? As I say, as I don't like I said, I don't know if I'll catch in track season or not, but anything you want to say about you? I'm so proud of you, USF. I really wish you the best. Any last words? I'll give you the last segment here. What do you got? What do you got to say for us?
Um, like last words, like what I want to say to everyone.
Sure, that's all yours. You get 2 minutes. Just don't cuss. No cussing though. Can't be any cussing.
Hey, um, I'm glad that I got to have the time that I spent with all my teammates and my coaches. I especially would like to thank Coach Hans and Coach Fu for helping me throughout the years. They've been like the biggest role in my life, like I've said, and I'm so grateful for the teammates that I have now and the experiences that we got to have at states together. And I really do hope that at Welland, Coach Hans and Coach Fu have the best experience there, and they have other athletes feeling just as happy and inspired as they have made me.
All right. Well, Malia Hamburg, I'm again senior, super senior athlete, ladies athlete, overall athlete. Gonna miss you so much. I can't wait to see posts of your results throughout the next couple of years. And you never know when you get out of school. I keep telling everybody we need a big training movement for aging athletes like myself who just don't accept that I'm gonna fall apart one day and I gotta stop doing what I'm doing. So you could treat me one day. You could be one of my first. I could be one of your first customers. Leah, thank you so much. The best of luck to you. And congratulations to all you and your family.
Thank you so much.
All right. Coach Hans, what do you think about that? I'm gonna start crying. I'm not even her coach. I'm gonna start crying.
I'm trying to hold it because there were a few mentions, and I think I remember our first race together. It was the Bocalupo like 6 years ago,
Oh my
and
gosh. Yeah.
and she almost made me cry when she said that. And the other moment is I grew accustomed to see Malia win and compete and all that, but she will never get too emotional all the way until last year, and that's the first time I ever saw her cry. And then I realized the the spirit of Malia, and it's when they qualify as a team. She has done that many times before,
Yeah.
but it was not until they qualify as a team that she broke, and it shows what kind of person and athlete and
Yeah.
captain she was.
Coach, and I mentioned in the beginning of the episode that I'm not really a news person. Like I don't have press credentials and all that. And just 2.5 years, we've been doing this for 2.5 years now. and I'm supposed to be neutral as a press person, but I'm not. Who we kidding? You know, I'm going to root for Northport. I'm a homer. I want to see you guys do well, and you know, it means so much to me that you two got to be on this episode together because you know I met you years ago before you were coaching cross country, and then when you became the girls cross country coach, I saw you progress the program, and then here comes Malia. Like I said, I saw her as an eighth grader coming into ninth grade. What was it like having her all 4 years? Did you see the potential for this going to collegiate level runner?
I saw the potential of her even before we ran the first race, and I kept insisting, and we actually prepared pretty good for that Bocalupa back then. So she was in sixth grade, and it was everybody running that day, but two of them shined that day. The other one was a local runner too in a different high school.
Yeah,
And yeah, definitely, yeah. And through the years, it was a lot of fun. I'm really proud. Like I was never surprised, just proud of what Malia has accomplished.
yeah. Is she your first collegiate level runner? I know you had soccer players.
She is my first collegiate. Yes, that's correct. Yes, he's the first one.
So we had
Unfortunately,
Evan for the boys a couple years back. Is he still running too, or is he's graduate? I can't remember his year.
I think he was until last time I checked, he was still running. Not sure
Look at
about right now.
that. North Ohio, two cross country distance runners at the college level. That's pretty impressive. And that's not an easy sport to get into college running here in Florida because of the weather and the heat and all that. It's not a very big team sport financially for these schools.
No, takes a lot of sacrifice too. He's
So, Coach, I brought you on here. Well, we usually do traditionally. We like to do wrap ups on seasons. It's a girl soccer season. I didn't want to. I'm going to kind of change the format today because this is a special moment for me and especially for you. And if people don't know, I'm going to go ahead and say it. You are done. That was your last coaching event for Northport High School. Am I correct?
that was it. That was the
So
end.
I don't want to make it a tearjerker. I don't want to go. I'll leave it to you how you want to go the rest of the interview. Did you want to talk at all about the soccer season? Do you want to talk about Malia's successes? I kind of want to funnel it to your direction here. I'm going to kind of let
We
you be the guide here.
we can talk about anything. That's okay. I'll take it.
Well, how about the girls soccer? You had almost an all senior team that senior night. I know you had juniors and all that. So, what do you think you seeing for next year? I know you're going to be saying goodbye. Do you
Mhm.
like where they're going to be going? Do you think there's some good potential there?
Definitely, yes, there is a lot of potential. When you have
Yeah,
four freshmen coming into varsity and at the end they end up being starters and actually Lily teams also join in. So if five freshmen who are really talented, you mix
good.
those with the juniors and the sophomores, there is definitely a lot of potential. And hopefully, coaching in the future will be structure and will be continuity with what was there.
Yeah.
Definitely
How many
potential.
years? How many years were you coaching the girls soccer team and the cross country team and the track team? I can't remember how when you first started those three teams.
So I was the head coach for the girls cross for 4 years, and then
Mm,
before that, I was who's assistant with the boys. I think 2 or 3 years, something like that. I'm
gotcha.
not sure about that. And the girls, I coach JB for 2 years, then became head coach for varsity. I think I did that for
Gotcha.
um 3 years. I took a sabbatical, then came back and did for four more
So
years.
quite some time. Either
Hmm.
way you look at you, you're familiar with these young ladies, and a
Yes.
lot of people don't realize these coaches. It's not just the young ladies you're coaching; it's the families you get to meet over the years, the
Yes.
volunteers, the referees. You even know them by name. It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a family. I don't care if it's cross country, soccer, or track and field. It's quite a family out there. So this soccer team was this the one that was special? Not that they're all special, but this is a little bit more special because you took this team at the competitive side, not the varsity side. Didn't they go pretty far one year as a group?
Yes. I took them initially back in the days when it was a co-ed team and the only female players were Alana, Gigi, and Amanda and others.
Yeah,
And then it became just after a couple of years, it became a thing, and more girls started joining. And then Malia came in, and Sophie Ramirez, and Ramos, and Gabby Ludi, and we just had a great team. And that year, yeah, we had a perfect run at the state, and we
That's
won the
awesome.
championship and ended up going to South Carolina to compete in the national level. So yes, definitely.
Well, without giving up too much secrets, I can guarantee you that bus ride home, or maybe you took Vance home from the last game, must have been, or the meeting after. It was always a meeting after, right? There must have been a lot of tears shed that day. I've been there as an assistant coach on several of them, but what do you tell the young ladies at the end of the year like this? It's their last
It
game.
was it was tough, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
because obviously you're always, or me at least, I'm always going into the game to win. I'm not thinking this is my last time. I'm not thinking about that.
yeah,
I'm not planning for that. Then the game is over, and I'm very proud the way they play.
yeah.
They never gave up, went all the way to PKs, and then that's the low. But then the game is over. They gotta come to you. You gotta talk to them because that's what the coaches have to do. And I told him I yesterday when we stepped for practice, I didn't think that was gonna be the last time I will ever practice with you and coach you today. But know that I'm
Yeah.
always gonna be here. I'm very proud, and of course there was a lot of tears.
Of course.
I had to try to
Coach
hold
Hans.
myself too.
Yeah, Coach Hans. At the end of the day, these are still kids. They're not
Yes,
adults, and even adults it hurts. But they're still
yes,
kids, and they still need that knowledge that their coaches still love them. You're not mad, you're not disappointed. You got to grow
no,
with them for 4 years. You were on a journey with them as well. Granted, you're not the parents, but you're almost like a second set of parents to these kids, and some of them you are
mm,
because they might have the same family dynamics. So, yeah, it's just it all has to come to an end. And for you, your Northport coaching is to an end, and I don't want to push. And I know you're going to a different school. Do you know if you'll be coaching at the next level? Or are you going to take a little pause from that?
that's still to be
Still,
announced.
still to be
Coming
announced.
soon.
Okay, we'll leave it. We'll
Yeah.
leave it at that. I remember everybody has a last day. I remember the last day I coached. I haven't coached in many many years. My heart won't let me because I got a heart issue. So that's what people ask me. I do announcing because I can always take a pause if I need to fix something. But coaching,
Right,
I
right.
couldn't. I couldn't be on the field anymore because if something happens, I'm down for 10 minutes, 20 minutes during the game. So hopefully you still have some coaching years left in you. I don't know if you got any more children coming up through the sporting world or nieces, nephews, grandkids. You never know. You never know on that one. Coach, what would you say this season? And you can compare this with your cross country team. What special moments did you have? Maybe not just a year, but the last couple of years, besides Malia doing so good and going to college. Is there any other special things you can think of that you saw that parents never get to see because they're not huddling up and they're not on the field. Is there any memories or two you can think of that really stuck out in your mind these last couple of years with either team you coached?
Definitely is. And the most special moments were never when we won.
Mm,
Those went super fast. I don't remember like getting stuck into those, but the moments I remember the most is when my players will get injured and will take them time to come back.
mm,
And we will always make sure that the team will get around those athletes to make sure that they mend not just the bodily injury, but their hearts are broken at that point. And it's something that we had to go through many times through these years. Last year was my own daughter. This year we had to see it with different players, and that creates a bond. It creates a bond between everybody. And I had to the other day, the last day of practice we had, I had to stop practice and I had to say something because for the first time in all my years in soccer, I saw no division between the freshman and the senior. And I
mm.
was really
Wow,
happy and proud of that. I saw a senior and a freshman playing together on the ground like they're sisters at the same age. There is no gap
that's
there. There
awesome.
is no pride that I'm more than you know. And if I had to walk away feeling good and proud about something, is that the program is left with no divisions, no pride of that kind, but we are all one family and we are all at the same level here.
That's awesome. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up. When I think of you, not only as a coach out on the field advocating for your players, but it's no secret that you have been an advocate for your players on this show since the very beginning. And that goes out with Coach Fu as well, Coach Fu and yourself. And you know, part of our mission with this show that John and I have is we started this way back when to really highlight not just the big sports, but the sports that might not always get the attention, like the cross country, like the track and field, like the soccer,
Mhm.
the girls soccer. Because let's be honest, the attendance isn't the greatest, and that's not here. That's everywhere's like that. But I'm always grateful that you two and you in particular would just jump in and throw. You got Malia on here today. Last time we had John, you had a couple other girls on there as well. We want the student athletes to be focused, and just I know John and I would want to thank you so much for it was never about just you interviewing. It was about the kids as well. And I think if we could just get more coaches to realize that the more we show them not just interest on the field, but interest like on a little Facebook show like this. Lee just got her first interview for her before once she got announced as a college kid. That might come in handy one day. You never know. So
Yes, definitely
just want to
yes.
thank you for that. All these years you stepped up and at the last second you jumped on and helped us out and all that. So having said all that, do you think that let's say you take a couple years off and you maybe you come back and all that? Do you think that is important for things like this to highlight the kids on a regular basis, or do you think it was just it was a nice little experiment while I was here, or, you know?
No, I think this is necessary even more. And I think for us coaches, maybe some, I'm not saying this is the case,
Yeah,
but if it is, well, coaches have to think that this is not about us coaches, this is about the kids. And we need to
yeah,
climb down from that cloud that we
yeah,
just want to win. That's not my objective. Of course, I want to win. I want to be a state champion.
right,
But you have to work a lot for that. In the meantime, it's about the kids. They are growing up. They need this moment. They work really hard. We need to give them the opportunity to show who they are. This is our present. This is our
yeah.
future. They are working for their future. We need to show them the way.
Exactly. Yeah, and Hans. I think this shows that we really do care about them a lot by putting on things like this. It's not just go get us some wins for us and get that in there. 'Cause, the competition's hard out there. The kids talk. They talk more than we do. They know what schools got this and what schools got that, and the more we show them the love, the more they're going to want to stay and compete for us. So, Hans, I'll give you
Yes.
the same question I gave Malia. Is there anybody you want to be saying some shout outs to? Because this is it, man. It's our last interview together, and this is your last hurrah and goodbyes and thank yous. I'm sure Mrs. Duquet's got to be top of the list on the thank yous there.
I wanna make sure that uh I think my own daughter. I think she's the most important piece of all this. There wouldn't be, and I think I said this before, there wouldn't be Coach Duque without Alana Duque. Is the reason when she was 4 years old watching a World Cup, a Women's World Cup with me, that I became a coach. She said, I want to play soccer. We bought a soccer ball. And since then, I've been coaching her, and she's now 18 years old. And here I am.
That's a great
So
story. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
yes, she's the reason. And I coach her almost entirely, all the way. Maybe this last 2 years in camp, I didn't. But other than that, I was always there,
That's
coaching her and
awesome.
through
That's
high
a great
school.
story.
So definitely, and full, of course. Who, when I came to Northport, he gave me the opportunity to join track on the sides and cross country. And now after that, he pushed me through the girls cross country. I learned a lot from him. I still learn a lot from him because he has a ton of knowledge, and he's a very humble person, and that's easy to learn. And actually, I aspire to be more like him every time with his how he approaches kids, how he treats everybody. He's never about him with food, and that's the model I follow. Um, I want to thank Tony Miller too. He was big for me too, like giving me the opportunities and all the support. And I can go through the whole like a list of staff members at Northport High School
Yeah,
because
it's a lot for sure.
all in all, they're amazing. There is amazing people at Northport High. They came out for us to help us. They're always like caring about the kids, helping us.
Yeah,
So of course, and family's always been there. I want to thank you and John for putting this together, for giving a platform for the kids. I think that's very important. I don't think everybody realizes, and I wish they will come, together and
yeah,
actually bring the kids. And I always try to bring one, two, three girls, and
yeah.
this and
That's good.
another one, get them out there.
Hey,
And
you forgot to thank Senora Duque.
of course, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Uh,
wait a minute. You're gonna get in trouble tonight, man.
Look, just like I have to thank Alana. and of course Matthew too, that my son, and he's coming, to high school soon, and he will be doing some sports too that I don't coach,
Gotcha.
but I'll be happy to be a supporter. I also have to thank Ms. K because she was a big supporter of cross country through the years, of soccer at the club level, at the high school level. She always care about the girls. She care about the girls, and the girls will go to her to look up for her at school, like she's a mom,
Yep.
and they have issues. That's a big help because sometimes there are girl issues that is more relatable when
Sure.
they have a
And
female
what what
image.
a, what an advantage that is to
Hmm.
have, Coach. You're right to have
Definitely,
that
yes.
that two sides there. Coach.
Definitely, yes.
Everywhere I went with you, she was there. Your wife was always at like most of the coaches' mom wives will stay for like half, but she's like there at every event. So the two of you were inseparable on these events. Well, Coach McKay, like I said, we loved having you on our show. We appreciate everything you've done, and we wish you so well. Whether you take a pause or not, that's up to you, and we get it. And I hope you reach out to us if you ever do start up and you're local. We'd love to have you come out here. And again, I'm so proud of you and what you did with not only the soccer team but seeing Malia, staying
All I
long enough
can
to see
tell you,
Malia
all
get to
I can tell
college.
you is that my soccer days are over. That's all I can
Uh,
tell you.
yeah, there's an old saying the best and worst days are when you buy a boat and sell a boat. It's almost like coaching. The best days when you first started coaching, and the last day is like, oh, I'm done. You're gonna miss it though, but you're not gonna miss
Yes.
the yeah. It's a different world now than 20 years ago, 10 years ago. It's getting harder and harder to coach. So we do appreciate all the efforts, not just you, but all the coaches put into it. I don't think a lot of parents can really appreciate how much time and sacrifice you got to put in to have a successful high school program at any school size. So, all right, same thing I gave to Malia. I'll give you the last 2 minutes. Anything you want to say, anything you want to do, any words you have, I'll be quiet for a moment and let you wrap this show for us.
Um, I think I did a post a week ago or so, and I want to go through it a little bit.
Yeah.
If I ever coach you, if you ever play soccer with me or coach with me, I want to thank you for being there with me. I want to thank Jose, my cousin. He coached with me for a few years, and actually, it was the two of us who won districts back then. It was a lot of hard work. And Morgan, all this year, she was like a little sister, always there. I appreciate her a lot. I wish her the best, and everybody around through these years, the Spurks, the Gigis, the Gregoires, Purvis, Nottinghams, all those amazing people, the Twins border. And I can go on here, and I'm gonna miss a lot of people, and that's not
Of
fair. The
course, yes.
Harveys,
Right.
Mark, amazing parents all over the place. If we ever came together because of I thank you. I will hold you forever in my heart, and know that I'm always gonna be here. They know how to find me. They know where I am. They know who I am, and I'm always gonna show up like they show up for me all these years.
Yeah. With that, Coach K, again the best of luck to you and the rest. And again, give my regards to everybody in your family. One last parting moment, and you can keep it secret or not. Does father, dad, you, Mr. Coach K, as a dad, is has your daughter decided where she's going? She's gonna stay in Florida so you can go see her, or is she gonna say goodbye to Florida? You know,
She's staying in Florida, I think.
good.
She's
All
staying
right.
in Florida, and she's now moving in between International University and UF, those two.
There you
So
go.
we'll see
Two
what happens at
excellent,
the end.
two excellent options. You're gonna
Definitely,
love supporting
yes.
her. No matter where she goes, you're gonna love going there and visiting her. I've enjoyed
I'll be
visiting my
there.
daughter at UCF. So yeah, it's a great transition to say goodbye to coaching, and now you're a dad watching your kids move through
Yeah.
college life. So it's gonna be a nice
Now,
thing for you.
my boat and my hope is I'm a Gator, so that she goes to
Uh,
Gainesville, but I know FIU is an excellent college as well, so
It
I'll be
has really
happy either
got
way.
that. Yeah,
Hmm.
either way, she's gonna love it. And hey, listen, you're gonna cry a lot during graduation. I did. Maybe you won't, but I do. I teared up quite a bit watching her go. So,
Oh, I
go.
will.
Yeah, Hans, thank you so much, guys. I'll wrap this up here. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Malia Hammer, for coming on. We wish her the best at USF. We want Coach Duque wherever he goes with his next levels of coaching or not. We wish him the best. So, I'll have everyone involved in Bobcat Blitz Sports Update next Tuesday. We have nothing. Well, no, yet. This is my last game tomorrow. Wednesday night's our last home regular season game. We're waiting to see what basketball was. We might be hosting a playoff game next Tuesday. I'm not sure yet. So, on behalf of everyone, thank you all. I'm going to go inside. I'm a little cold right now. My heart's giving me a little quivers. I got to go. Take care. Good night.